We're live, even though we can't get the music to work this week. It's taking a summer vacation. I'm finding that this week, and this week's in July, that half the time I try to find someone, they're not here. So our music has gone on vacation. We don't know where it went.
Yeah.
But here we are, live at Mayor's Update in the world headquarters of Established Media. And lots to cover, lots of things this week, a very busy week. And a fire downtown, a seniors picnic happening, nostalgia nights happening, a bunch of things we have to talk about this week. So what do you want to talk about? The biggest thing, we had a bit of a fire downtown.
Yeah, let's talk about the fire.
First of all, congratulations to our fire service on doing a great job, and Strive Trucking for helping them knock it down. But more importantly to that, thank you to anybody who had anything to do with there not being one injury in this.
And if you're looking for that too, like the fire department put up a post thanking all the different people that contributed.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Check that out on their Facebook.
Well,
page.
and many of our downtown merchants, I know even the Angry Bear across the street. Look, it's a neighborhood thing when something like this happens, and we thank you all for the assistance, whether it was cold beverages or helping people stay out of the danger zone or any of the above. But certainly we thank God for nobody being injured.
Yeah.
And we thank our police services and our fire services for handling a downtown crisis about as well as can be handled. I keep reading words like massive fire. Well, it was a pretty good fire, but
they
got it, knocked it down, and did a great job of even the buildings, the Indwell building, the Rail City Lofts on one side. Thank you to Indwell as we remodeled that building to make Rail City Lofts there. We put an extra firewall up, and we kept the trouble out of our transit building and the Rail City Lofts. So
incredible. Way
to go. Really, the city pulls together in times of crisis, and St.Thomas is no different than any other. And we also have to look at a person who owned the building, who is doing renovations, has lost their building. We have to help them with what can we do next from a planning point of view, from a recovery point of view. I know the fire department has determined it to be an arson. The police have determined it that we've caught the arsonist. Some great conversation with our police chief this week, carrying on of why is this person on the street? Been charged with arson before. He's back on the street and does it again. We need to fix our court system so that citizens are protected. No one was hurt this time, but it could have been a very tragic situation the other way. So.
If that fire had jumped, and that's what you go back to. And people have talked. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about it as well in terms of our social services and all of that. It's like, absolutely, let's get this person the help they need as well. And that's what we've been talking about. How can we do it? So
and people say, well, you no longer have a mental hospital. We do. We have a forensic mental hospital still out there on that site. And if someone is having forensic mental health issues or mental health issues that cause them to do criminal activity, we've got a place for that. It really just needs to be directed by the courts. That's where people go if they're a danger to society. So I've given my congratulations to the chief for his views and how strong he's been on it. I know that
it was within hours they were able to find the person based on using the CTV camera system they have.
Well, we should pat each other a little bit too. I know that you and I, over the last number of years, have really helped the police put the CTV system in the downtown. I mean,
the downtown
PDB,
development board, the whole board,
the back to Earl, and all the rest of the merchants downtown. We did a great job of making it so that at any given moment we know where somebody is downtown if we need to know it. Now, for you to know by privacy, there's we can't pick up anybody's private residence on any of those cameras.
There's blackouts in any sections if there's coverage as well, so people have their privacy.
And 48 hours later, we destroy the films if there has not been a crime committed that we have to save films for evidence purposes. So it's been great. We'd like to put some more CTV cameras. I know this year the police put one or two more in. We'd like to put some more out in the industrial park and some of the more normal ways for people to enter our community in case we're looking for certain cars at certain times, but we'll continue to do that. And we thank you for your help and your contributions that help our community do that. And by reporting it to police as quickly as possible, we can usually find a video of it.
Yeah. And if you're a business that has a camera system, you can tie it in with the police service, because that's another system that they used in conjunction with the CTV or the CCTV system.
We can follow up a potential or an alleged criminal from one end of downtown to the other, and what time of day it is and where he's gone. Also in your neighborhood, those of you that have Ring cameras or other cameras around your homes,
Yep.
register them with the police. It's not invasive to you, but it sure is helpful when a crime occurs on a certain street. They can look up who said they had a camera on that street
Yep.
and immediately do it. I know that they've come to Wendy's 2 or 3 times for different things that have happened in or near our place of business, and we easily give them the camera footage for them to do their criminal work on.
And what you can also use the cameras for is if you're accused of something, you can go to those cameras to prove your innocence. And I know that in at least one instance has been done as well.
Well, and the same thing with body-worn cameras. We're one of the first communities of our size to put body-worn cameras on the police. And we've seen many instances now where it would have otherwise been quite a court battle with the alleged criminal, and we just show them the film.
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, I guess you're right.
It's
that's exactly how it happened. So
which saves
saves us all a lot of time and money, and overtime on the police force having to go to court when we could sort them out that way.
And the
so
resources can be better.
Thank you to everybody who helped us on this. We'll have a bit of a gap tooth in our downtown for a little while while we clean that out and decide what's going next. We've done it before. We'll do it again. Yeah. There was a beautiful old building that had been there a long time, but really for the last 10 or 15 years had been all but empty and not being used. I know the conversation this week has been, but it was getting close to being, okay, great, that's fantastic. Let's get it close to being something again. Apartments upstairs and main floor businesses.
You have to look at the silver lining and find out how we can make our city better as a result of going through something that's a hardship. Yeah.
Look, I think we can all be a little sad when we lose a heritage building, especially one that most will remember as a hardware store downtown and some other stuff, right? And we have to move along in our community and say, yes, but now it was a pot shop and something else. But let's make our downtown vibrant. We continue to do that. I thank the Downtown Development Board from a council point of view of being as vibrant a downtown as it's been in 40 years. With what's happening in our community right now, we're pretty pleased with the economic growth in our downtown.
The leaps and strides and the way we're all working together right now between the Downtown Development Board, the city, and all of our other partners is just fantastic.
We really set a pattern on a bunch of things that way, Grayden. And I know you're quite proud of it too, but whether it's on mental health or on housing or on whatever else it can be, we've got community groups working full force, the YWCA and the Tiny Hope Project and Doug Terry and their sponsorship of so many different things, the whole Eastwood building project and even the CMHA, the Canadian Mental Health Association downtown, with what it's doing from a rehab point of view, the Annex, and they just had another significant birthday at the Annex also. I mean, we often forget to talk about Grace Cafe, which still every day feeds a lot of people in our community and not necessarily homeless people who are having food insecurity problems. But we've got so much of a great working together. And I think I talked about social clubs or service clubs last week and how they work together on stuff. And
I just saw they were in at the Grace Cafe volunteering.
Yeah, the Rotary Club has a certain day, and other clubs have other certain days. Absolutely, that's what a community is, and it's in the old days, it might have been your community churches, and there's a little less activity in some of those, although some of them are extremely good. St.Thomas Anglican still does meals and a lot of things out of it. So and Destination Church and the work they did. So let's just keep going and being St. Thomas in this way. It's fantastic. Now, speaking of all that, some fantastic stuff happening this week in the downtown and across town on Wednesday. Today is Tuesday, so tomorrow morning I'm getting up early and going to the seniors picnic.
What time is that?
Park. Well, first thing in the morning. I think it starts really about 9:00 in the morning. And there's a bunch of displays and some great things to see. And about noon, there's probably some speeches, but there's fun all day with music and entertainment. Brian May usually does a great deal of it, and we can sing along with just about everything he does. You don't bring your Speedo. The mayor's running through the splash pad. At least he
I hear promises every year, but I have yet to see a photo.
No, we'll see what the weather's like tomorrow.
Oh, it might be a little chilly.
No, I don't know. It might be too hot.
Is it Fort Myers, Florida?
Wouldn't want to burn the mayor, so we have to be careful. So that's the seniors picnic start tomorrow, and there's a business after 5 tomorrow night also.
Yeah. And we've got
Something else is happening tomorrow. There's 3 things tomorrow.
there's so many things. But we have a question in from
Great.
Aiden Frederick saying, will this incident have any effect on Saturday's Nostalgia Night event? And the answer is no.
No.
Because the response was so quick and everything's sorted out, there are no safety concerns, thankfully.
Well, and as I said, Stripe Trucking also helped us knock the fire down, keep it in place after there's a bit of a collapse, and really get the rest of the debris starting to be removed out, but at least on that site, fenced off. Please don't enter the site, but downtown is perfectly good and cleaned up. Flowers are looking fantastic. Flower barrels are looking great. The whole downtown, there'll be a huge stage in front of City Hall where music will be being played.
Yeah, I'm going to give a little heads up to people that are watching. What we're going to do on the DDB is like a social media post. Is I took a picture like during the winter time of kind of like a desolate landscape of the downtown. And now I'm going to get a really nice similar picture now that all the flowers are up and everything, and like do one of those memes. And this was actually the idea was from Sean DeVry from Myrtle.
Right.
And she was like, you should do like what people think downtown is like and what it's actually like.
Well,
and just
you mentioned the desolation of winter, and there's no such thing. I've done Santa Day downtown. I've done even the sock hop and the different things that happen all the time. Look, there are many people in our community just don't go downtown. We'd love you all to come see Nostalgia Nights. So first of all, see how vibrant our downtown can be.
It's gonna be incredible.
But second, how many great businesses there are. Some of them very new to the downtown. So please come on downtown and see what you can. Shop downtown in St.Thomas is I could sing the jingle, but I won't. No. So that's Nostalgia Nights. That's next Saturday, right?
July 12th.
And really starts about 4 p.m. Now, we say that every year.
The cars are there starting at noon.
Right.
They start showing up because they want their spots.
No, I get it, but we also have to park all of those. We need to keep people out of the way while we're setting up what you want to come down and see.
Absolutely.
By mid to late afternoon. So give us a bit of a break as we start to kind of close off downtown and then parallel park cars so they can see.
Yeah.
Set up the band and all of the festivities starts about 4:00. Right, music playing and giveaways and
there's free train rides sponsored by a lot of wonderful
4
vendors.
or 5 train rides this year. Does
4 or 5
on the hour. So get out. You have to get downtown and get your tickets, and then come for that train ride.
Free tickets, but you do have to get a ticket because the trains fill up every single time. So make sure you go to the
usually
tourism
within
office.
hours of the tickets open.
Yeah.
So go to the tourism office, the old train station, right at the corner of the tracks and Talbot.
Yep.
And there's a whole marketplace there too this year, which is a new thing. So great. Just something happening. Now tell us a bit about what the Chamber of Commerce is doing. And
so these are chill and cheer stations, and they're set up by the Chamber.
And cheer. Okay.
Or cheer and chill. I'm still catching up on exactly. I say chill and cheer. It's chill and cheer.
Well, I like a little cheer, and I like it to be chilled when I have it. So
they've got cooling stations. You can hydrate there. I believe they'll be licensed as well.
Hydrate. Okay. That means I can put fluids in?
You can, absolutely. If you're getting a little bit parched, you pop in there.
Right.
And then Doug Terry Homes is also sponsored another.
Oh, way to go, Doug. Excellent. But we kind of we've learned to expect that Doug Terry
will sponsor almost every single event that happens in our city.
Right. And good for him and good for us that we have a business like that in our community. Right. So that's one's at Hepburn Parkette. The other is,
I believe it's by City Hall, but I could be wrong on the exact.
Or is it the?
You know what? If you don't know,
no, there's a
map
thing, right
on the Nostalgia site.
All right. Website. I wanted to. Is there any other questions on here I should get to? Because I can't. The print is far too small for the mayor today.
All right. Let me just. I can help with that.
Look, we're up on the big screen.
There we go. All right. Okay. So.
No, it won't have any effect. I'm reading down the questions very quickly.
I'm just going to go through.
The car show will be fantastic. They built Serena Northcott. They built supposed to be affordable housing, but no one can afford the prices. I'm not certain what affordable housing you're talking about. We've added affordability to each of the new apartment buildings and in small amounts, and we took over the Prespa building on Flores Street, and that was 24 units of affordability for seniors. So we have people in the affordability business, including us on Chestnut and many other places around the community, about 1,000 units of affordable housing that we control either by geared to income or reduced rents or contribution to rents. We continue to look at where else we can do more and who else is going to help us. Of course, Eastwood is building 85 units of very affordable housing right now through the Eastwood Community Housing Project. So we continue to address affordability also, but not to be mistaken with supportive housing, which we've done a number of units for, and the Balaclava project is the next one on the supportive housing, and that is for people who are homeless. We really looked at can we affect homelessness in our community before we get to strict affordability.
Right.
So we figure someone without a home may need the help more than someone who has a home and just needs it to be more affordable. So we'll continue to work on both projects.
All right. And then Aidan Frederick is asking what stretch of Talbot Street will be closed to vehicle traffic. And I believe it is correct that it's Ross Street. I believe it's
Ross Street, or it goes on beyond Ross now, right?
But there's an event map. So if you go to the website, you can actually,
and it marks it all off.
You can pull it right up and see exactly what's happening.
So we mentioned something at Hepburn Park West, so we know it goes at least that far west and maybe another block further.
And Sarah Lynch, who's actually been organizing the majority of the stuff for the Downtown Development Board in relation to Nostalgia Night, says that the Doug Terry Homes one will be at Moore Street. So shout out to Sarah because she's done an incredible job taking the lead
on the Moore Street where the lawn is, where the Sutherland Press building used to be. So in that block. Great. Perfect.
And sometimes what happens as well is you have more cars show up than you expect. So then it kind of like extends out kind of around and onto Center Street as well.
We had them in the back parking lot at Holy Angels along Center Street. When cars show up, we'll find them a place to park so you can go look at these fantastic classic automobiles. But,
we figure it out.
I try to break away from the main stage information booth where they put the mayor every year to take a quick walk around. I never get to see the whole thing.
Yeah.
Do you get to see the whole thing?
Me, I try, but it depends what's happening. Sometimes you get pulled into something. You take your camera
and then you're not as fast as me.
Yeah. So we've got a map here. I'm going to pop it as a comment in there. But basically, Elgin's going to be closed just to the south of Center. Ross is also closed just to the south of Center. And then Marion, Hiawatha are also closed, as well as East Street is closed.
Right.
And then
so you're not getting cross traffic anywhere across Talbot Street in that area. I tend to get there pretty early and park in a parking spot behind City Hall where the mayor's car spends most of its time. And then I can just
you get to talk to everybody that way. It's like the home show. Right. It's like you go to the home show and then you can chat with all the people as they come.
Oh no, I just love being both of those events are my favorites because I talk professionally. I don't want you to try this event. Right?
But the Chill and Cheer stations. There's also going to be there's a beauty pageant by
the Bombshell Beauty.
Beauties.
They kind of shared the information tent last year, and it was a lot of fun getting to know the Bombshell Beauties.
They're just like they're such great people.
It's so fun.
And then we've got the entertainment. There's a main stage at City Hall.
Yes,
the main
with some entertainment going on there. But each of those cooling stations may also have some entertainment too, right? So
they will,
come visit downtown, and there's lots of merchants who stay open through this for you to actually shop or window shop or whatever else. I know for a fact that Caps Off will be open, so it's just half a block off Talbot Street from the Vines. Always does a great thing. I think even the library had some sort of nostalgia nights to play last year, but come visit your downtown. And for those of you that are new to our community, and boy, do I keep meeting people who are just a year or two here. I see the word dunk tank.
Is this dunk tank? Now, Sarah, if you're watching, has this dunk tank been confirmed for the bylaw officer being dunked?
It's the animal service bylaw officer. So, I mean,
and they're raising funds to complete the new animal shelter.
And when they dunk the bylaw officer from the animal services, does he do the dog paddle to get?
I certainly hope that he will.
I hope that he will too. Right. So come on downtown, have some fun. We're looking for that on Saturday. Also, come down early. Go to the market.
Mhm.
It is.
Is it Berry Day?
It is Berry Day at the market, which we
Yeah.
think is to some of us who knew Barry Fitzgerald very well
Yeah.
through his full life. Barry has passed away, and his visitation will be Saturday, and so I thought it only fitting that the market is also Berry Day, but it's
Yeah.
spelled different. It's all about strawberries and blueberries and other things at the market on Saturday morning. So please go visit the market.
And his visitation it's Sunday, July 13th from 1 to 5 p.m. at the Queso station for Barry Fitzgerald. And,
Right.
and I'd be surprised if you didn't know.
If you don't know Barry's involvement with the Railway
Yeah.
Coalition in our community, the Chamber of Commerce in our community,
Mm.
as an entrepreneur in his own life from Port Stanley, and
Yeah.
some other things that I know I've shared on this show is Barry and I acted together at Port Stanley Theater.
Yeah.
In a great play called Dark Deeds at Swan's Place, and he was Swan. So he was a mean guy who in a Western. So, right. Is there a chess club in town? That's a great question. Can somebody else answer?
Thursdays. I don't know if there was a chess club at the library. I don't know if that's still going, but there are board game nights. I believe it's on Thursdays at the St.Thomas Public Library.
Right. So that be a great place to ask. But if
Don't
anybody
know.
else knows, please put it up here for Bree.
Mhm.
Let's answer that. And Dale, I'm not reading your question because he thinks I should be a target for the dunk tank. I could go there and heckle people who are throwing, but my swimming ability isn't what it used to be when I played water polo. So.
Well, yeah, no, that
The library has one. Beth says on the
Beth Douglas, she organizes it. Thank you, Beth.
perfect.
There we go.
Perfect. Lots going on. What else do I have on my list? Jumbo Mania continues
Yes.
on at the Elgin Heritage Museum. Is that what it's called?
That's
Elgin Heritage
Museum, and it's put on by the Elgin Museum.
I keep seeing Steve teasing us a bit about Jumbo Mania and the whole life and history of Jumbo in our community. So if you haven't seen it, please get out there and see that too.
And like we've said, I mean, half of Steve's Jumbo collection is in the collection on
Right.
show, and it's going on until March 2nd. But they're
Does he,
also
bring that out there in a trunk.
a couple, but multiple
Okay.
trunks.
So it was the only elephant thing I could come up with at the time. So, yeah.
But they're going to be putting things on, so it's kind of like an evolving exhibit. So if you go out now, you might want to check it out.
Oh, there might be more different things.
Yes,
in a month or so.
there will be. That's what I've heard.
Oh, that's a real Jumbo Mania display because it's not all you got to go back and see it again. I like it. But then when you go, you won't forget because elephants never forget.
Well, I might.
I might.
Yeah. Outdoor art experience also at the St. Thomas Elevated
Oh,
Park.
yes.
You know what?
It was every Thursday or Tuesday.
It's every Tuesday. So that's coming up next week. You're going to check
next
that
Tuesday.
out. But
Elevated Park a week from today.
I'm going to
Or is
confirm
tonight too?
it was today actually. So
Okay,
if we
it'll be during
skip
the day.
ahead,
All right.
we'll figure out where.
So
the
that's
next
how
one
to.
is.
You are already an artist, so you don't have to go. But for people like me who couldn't draw a stick person, this might be fun to go do. Right?
Yeah. Oh, open chess night, St. Thomas Public Library,
Oh, good.
and that's on July 14th.
That's Sunday. Is it?
I believe so. No, Monday.
Monday. Okay, Monday. Chess
Monday,
night.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And there's an art exhibit up at the Art Center, so go and check that out as well.
See how organized we are this week to talk about things.
We have all the lists.
I see berries. Right.
The Berry Blast Horton Farmers Market.
Yes.
There's live music at the Railway City Brewing, and then also Caps Off is celebrating an anniversary this year.
They are six years, I think, and I can't believe it's been that long, or I've lost my memory because I've been there too much. Perfect. All right.
Yeah, and then welcome Bree. Bree's moving back from Toronto, the Toronto area.
Excellent.
Yeah,
excellent. So we should go change the population sign by one?
No, she has a husband and 2 kids, so that'll be four.
By
four
four.
Additional.
Okay, well, we'll just wait to change the sign with a whole lot more people like Bree who's coming back to a great place.
Yep.
Perfect.
The best place. There we go. And Beth Douglas has just popped in a board game group link in there.
All right, for the library. Perfect. Yep. Please attend and please have fun. And that's board spelled BOARD. That's not BORED.
Yeah.
It's real fun games done on board. All right.
Dig and play at the rail yard.
Oh yeah, there's kids like there's sand and there's you can go in and play in the digging and stuff at the rail yard. So The Railway Museum has been having. I'm sorry, but I missed the brew thing last week because I'm still not over my plague that I picked up in Japan.
It looked like it was a great turnout, though.
Oh no, it was huge. It was wall to wall in there.
Yeah.
How could you drink beer with that many people in there? How could you line dance with that many people in there?
Maybe they had straws.
Oh no, there's a thought. I could just drain it. Yeah.
Because also, like, shout out to Fran Dunseith. She's from Caps Off. She also took some photos for me so I could share them on Establishment.
Also a great member of our Chamber of Commerce and a number of other great things in town.
All the volunteer work.
Thank you. She does between her and Rick do so much for our community. And also make very good beer.
Yeah, so, absolutely fantastic.
Not by accident that they're good people.
Yeah.
And that we like them.
Yeah.
If I can just share one other thing, I continue to get a lot of messages.
Yeah.
I will again state that your best way to get anything in the city done, even if we're good friends, is not to Facebook me. I have no way of answering you back on Facebook when there's 50,000 people in our community each and every time
there's
somebody knows where there's a bridge or right.
Yeah. It doesn't. Yeah.
So please use customer service at ST.Thomas.ca. You can CC me also so that I know that you've done that.
Right.
But it must be an email. If you'd like to just tell me something, make sure it's an email to mayor@ST.Thomas.ca or jpreston at ST.Thomas.ca so that I can forward your email on also. I apologize if you've sent me something on Facebook and said, why didn't you answer me about the crack in the sidewalk on such and such a street?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I seldom go out there and patch cracks in sidewalks.
You don't do that yourself, eh?
No. We honestly have great people who do that.
Well, you know, I was seeing out by the Wendy's parking lot there was a paving unit up there. You could just hop on there, couldn't you, and just like do it all yourself?
No, we have experts who know how to pave, and I do not. And so we, and so I got some great feedback from a couple people this week, and it was lengthy about the construction on Burwell and the parking at the fireworks show and a bunch of other stuff. But I can't forward it on if you send it to me on Facebook. I just I can't get it to the appropriate people. So please let's use customer service to get the idea to the mayor if you feel you have to, or straight through to customer service and go to the right person. Right. July 8th, 1856 was the first LMPS train to Port Stanley.
Incredible.
It's the anniversary today.
Wow.
So 1856 to 2025. That's a bunch of years. That's the 100 and something anniversary.
Yeah.
But Steve, thank you. Steve, I always thought of myself as a bit of a historian until I served with Steve as the member of parliament and he is the member of provincial parliament because he knows everything. He knows whose farm it is.
The official minister of history.
Oh, yeah. And what the dog's name was that lived there and the dog's birthday. I gave up. I just talk about community service now and have a lot of fun talking about community service in St. Thomas and let Steve handle the history because I'll be wrong more often than I'm right. But Steve will always be right. He's my go-to guy on, hey,
absolutely.
What happened here? What was from there? And then, it's he does have it somewhere in his house. If we need the answer, we can always seem to get it. So, except maybe it's now all down at the Heritage.
If it's Jumbo
related,
but then there's also basically almost like an archive at the library where you can go on and look at microfilm of newspapers or anything else.
Oh yes. Oh no. The research is still more than possible, and it's not all just Google.
But I want to jump back to the paving because if you're interested in the paving, the next Beehive episode that's going to come out is a 12-minute epic all about paving Highbury and like all the different work that goes into doing that and how do you make a seamless road because you're heating up. They're using like propane tanks and the special like radiant heater to like heat up the junction
to do it. Yep.
Yeah. And so I did an episode with Meredith from the city, one of the engineers there, and she went and talked to all the people.
We have experts.
Absolutely. She is above and beyond.
Better than me. And if the mayor tries to talk about it and he doesn't know what he's talking about, I really hear from them too, which is just perfect. That's what they're there for.
Well, I love she was doing the interviews and then she'd provide like leading questions and then be like, but this is what you mean, right? And they're like, yeah, that's what I mean.
That's exactly what I was trying to talk about. By the way, that's another thing that's happening within the next week or so. South Edgeware from the roundabout to Burwell will now start to go under construction. Somebody asked about that road 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I think I talked about complete streets.
I think there's signs
break it up. till we had to do water and stuff underneath. Well, now we're dealing with the water and stuff underneath. And so that road will now start to go under construction. Be careful. It may be hard to get along South Edgeware. I think it's closed to all but local traffic and the industries along there for a long time.
A good amount of time,
Yeah. And of course, Burwell and Talbot is still having its, the overpass will start to come down at some point. But right now, the construction is at the intersection. So right now we have two-way traffic along Talbot Street. We'd like to get that intersection part done so we can open up also back down Burwell, and then finish the removal of the overpass. It's a long project this summer, and we recognize as we have to do things in our community, sometimes it's going to take a little while and some of our roads are going to be closed. But it's all for the betterment of our community and traffic flow in the future. So watch and follow the detour signs. If the road says it's closed to all but local traffic, please be closed unless you live in that block.
The most awkward thing is like going in and being like, and then realizing you have to turn around.
Right. In front of a bulldozer that's trying to do its work. Right. So,
or you might hit something and injure your vehicle as well. Or damage your vehicle. So be careful about that. Because
I don't get to thank Grayden enough. Grayden has been just excellent on helping us do Mayor's Update and have a transparent way of you coming on and being able to answer questions.
Every week.
We still pride ourselves on never leaving a question unanswered, even if it can't be answered this week. Like we had with Bree, where's the chess club? Mayor didn't know a damn thing about chess clubs. So we asked the experts that are out there watching Mayor's Update.
Beth Douglas.
So we'll continue to do it that way too. And our guests like Steve, who visits us every week. I see Paul Jenkins joined us to say Fran's amazing.
She is.
And so I can't not say that. But Paul joins us almost every week. So I get all my Chamber of Commerce questions answered if Paul's on. So fantastic. But just thanking Grayden for giving us this opportunity and working together on this program called Mayor's Update.
Couldn't do it.
Other mayors in Ontario continue to say, you really do this?
Is it live?
Is it live? Can people ask anything? Yes, they can. And I sometimes even get upset at people who ask questions over and over, but it works.
It totally works. It's just an incredible thing. And I love the way it's developed over the years. It's so exciting having an audience.
Do y'all have Facebook? Yeah, most of you do. I keep getting, memories of Mayor's Update in 2020, right? In the middle of COVID or something. And I go, yeah, I remember that. Right? There was one on today where I was up at the cottage and Stephanie was in the background doing something with one of the puppies. And they said, did you want to replay this memory? And I went, no, I've seen it enough. I live it every week, but thanks. Right?
Well, what I really enjoy too is that in the community, at different events, you run into people and they're like, you don't know me, but I know you from Mayor's Update.
Right.
And I just want to say how much I appreciate that. So
I met some people at the fireworks that said, look, we've been watching Mayor's Update. We do it silently. We do it in the background. Right. But thank you for sharing some of the things that are happening in our community. He said, I can go to work and be really smart the next day because I heard it on Mayor's Update, what road's going to be closed or what event's coming up. Grayden, you help us do that. That's the greatest thing. Right? Dale says he loves pushing my buttons. He absolutely does. But I answer every one of his questions. He may not love the answer that I give. And Dale and I actually are pretty good friends and actually can talk about things where we disagree and both agree. Right. So it works really well. Dale, having people like you on Mayor's Update asking hard questions really makes it work. It makes the show look real. Right. What else we got? Anything else?
I think those are on time. Those are all the questions. We're slightly over on time, but
Oh no, we're going to have some questions for you soon. I'm just going to finish with this.
Oh, we got Sarah Lynch has confirmed the bylaw officer from the city is being dunked, and there is a dunk tank.
Excellent. I will go watch that.
Car enthusiasts dunking the bylaw officers because the number of tickets they probably get, especially if they come to St.Thomas and they park early past, they don't have that 2-hour free parking during nostalgia
We'll
nights.
be okay. Because the bylaw officer's in the tank.
Be like, hey, if you got a ticket, take your anger,
take your frustrations out,
your money and your frustration over to the dunk tank.
Let's because didn't we wreck a car? I remember one year having a sledgehammer and beating the crap out of a car.
That one was we've been talking about that up and down. It looks like it's probably back on, but we weren't sure.
We weren't sure
because of the safety concerns. Because you got to get rid of the gas.
Oh
tank,
no, and you've got to really
like
and goggles and
Mhm.
gloves and stuff to do this. But the mayor really relieved his frustrations one year by spending a fair bit of money hitting a
I got
car
some
with a
great
sledgehammer.
photos of that.
Yeah.
Documentary evidence that,
No,
you
it did
talk
happen,
about the Speedo
right?
all you want, but the sledgehammer to the car, that happened.
Right. And we use that same picture to, we'll slip it under your windshield if you're parked in the mayor's spot.
Oh, is that how? No, that's a great.
Well, look, this is what happens
Just so
if you
you
park in
know.
that spot. The mayor does have a sledgehammer. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. All right. Well,
Thanks.
Mayor, again, thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for all the time you put into this. All our viewers, thanks for joining us. The sponsors,
Well,
everybody.
I was about to say, and I know we're over time anyway, so it doesn't matter. We're talking about whether we should make the show an hour long.
Mhm.
We're trying to talk about what day is best for us and
Yep.
for the community, and what time of day is best for us and
Mhm.
the community. And so if through the week you have any thoughts as to when you'd like to see Mayor's Update,
Mhm.
and any other future guests you might want to have on it, because if we go to a longer show, then we're almost going to have a guest for half an hour.
You don't want to watch
so
us
we can go back to
necessarily for
this.
an hour.
But we do that. We can do that easily enough. So please give us your feedback while Grayden and I, because otherwise we'll just keep meeting here in the world headquarters of Established Media for half an hour on Tuesday nights.
The new world headquarters. I love it. I got all the soundproofing
We'll get
in here.
a sign made.
Yeah, it's going to get better and
Established
better.
Media, established in 1881. No. We'll get it done. All right.
Well,
Well, thanks for joining us tonight.
All right. Take care, everybody. Let's sign out here. If the videos will play. No, they're still not playing. So we're just going to end the stream.
Right.
Every once in a while.
Miss ya.
Yeah. Things happen online.